Hello, bonjour, guten tag. Welcome to our webinar on inspiring festive shoppers on Pinterest. This webinar was designed to give you and your team an introduction into crafting the perfect festive season campaign for your brand as early as possible. We're really excited you're able to join us here today. We have a lot of great content and new research to share, so I'll quickly introduce our speakers. I'm Tina Pekonen, and my pronouns are she and her. I'm the global marketing lead for holiday and moments at Pinterest. I'm so happy to be here with you today to talk about one of the best times of year, the festive season. And I'm joined by some of my incredible colleagues, Griselda, a senior partner manager based in Hamburg, and Grania, our ad solutions product marketing manager based in Dublin. Today's session is split into 4 sections. To kick off, I'll spend a little bit of time on where we are today in 2022 and how on Pinterest it's different. Then we'll get into the heart of this webinar. I'll touch on why the festive season will be different this year and why we believe it will be more expansive, more personalized, and more dynamic than ever. Then I'll pass it over to Griselda to share insights around shopping. Spoiler alert, Pinterest users are super shoppers. Finally, Grania will share how brands and agencies can plan for the 2022 festive season and why it's good to start early. I'll have a few additional announcements at the end before we say goodbye. Before we dive in, a few things to keep in mind. First, this webinar will be recorded and sent to all attendees, so please don't worry about taking notes, unless of course you want to. Second, your camera is off and you'll be on mute the entire session. As long as you can see and hear us, you're good. And lastly, if you have a question, we would love to know it. We have a Q&A feature and you can see a button at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Please use that to ask questions. We'll be answering as many questions as we can as we go along within that screen. And if you have a very specific question, you can always reach out to your Pinterest rep. Okay, let's get started. So I think we can all agree it's been quite the start to the 2020s. We're going through unprecedented times of pandemic, political unrest, as well as war. Amidst these sobering realities, we've been glued to our phones. The latest report from Ofcom in the UK noted that UK adults are spending over 3.5 hours of their waking time online. And more than ever, people say being online makes them feel disconnected from themselves and their interests. People feel sucked in, burned out, anxious from all of the social comparisons. And 2022 is still full of uncertainty for everyone. There are concerns over macroeconomic conditions, the political landscape continues to shift, and consumer behavior continues to change. For marketers, Q4 is particularly tricky given the World Cup taking place during peak trading for many verticals. And that's why, actually, these next few weeks during the Women's Euros Football Championship is a good sandbox to understand consumer sentiment at this time. Given the realities of a heavy news cycle and negative messaging on many platforms, people often turn to Pinterest for a much needed break from doom scrolling. They view us as a place to discover and be inspired. So we were curious, why do they turn to Pinterest? What specifically feels so good to them about Pinterest? In short, they told us, on Pinterest, it's different. We're building a more positive place on the internet where you can find things you actually love, where creators can be known for expertise, not celebrity, and where you can plan for an amazing festive season, celebrating with friends and family. And Pinterest delivers against all of those needs. A recent study by Nielsen showed that we are the #1 place where people go to find inspiration, online or offline. Pinterest ranked ahead of peer platforms, as well as magazines, TV shows, and other popular online destinations. It's important to note that this data about Pinterest being the most inspiring place comes from an independent outside party, not our internal resources. Now, I don't know about you, but I find this to be huge, not only because of what we stand for as a company, but also because of the time that we're living in. As the leading inspirational media environment, we decided to take a look at how we move people toward decisions on our platform. And here's what we found. On Pinterest, 97% of searches are unbranded. People come to Pinterest to plan and do, but they haven't yet made up their minds about what to buy. And as it turns out, when they leave decided. Pinterest drives 10 times higher branded searches off platform. There's a trigger moment that happens on Pinterest. It turns out inspirational environments actually can help people make up their minds. Now, we call this decision-making behavior the new ROI. Instead of return on investment, it's return on inspiration. So how does this impact the way you should be thinking about Christmas and the festive season this year? Well, I'm excited to share what we've learned from our recent festive season holiday 2022 research. Please note that today I'll be sharing insights from across the UK, France, and Germany. But if you'd like to see a full presentation customized for your country, just reach out. Well, our research this year highlighted one important thing. The festive season will be different. It'll be more expansive, more personalized, and more dynamic than ever. Let me explain. The past 2 years have forced people to reinvent the way they plan for and celebrate the festive season. As a result, people expanded their definition of what the season means. They looked for new ways to bring fresh joy to their traditions. They personalized their plans to suit their needs. And when their needs changed, they replanned. While all of this reinvention may have started as a necessity, it's now become the norm, and people like it. It's given them permission to design, plan, and celebrate their festive season in the best way for them, which means the need for inspiration has never been greater. But don't just take my word for it. Let's hear it directly from people who use Pinterest to plan their festive season celebrations. Here's a short video featuring a few pinners from around the world.
Hey everyone, I'm Kaladar. I go by Cal.
Zoe,
Carol, Allie.
I'm Olivia from Toronto.
Reese DeLuca.
Priya Boland.
I'm Queenie.
I use Pinterest to plan for the holiday season because it's so easy to use, and I like how clicking on one pin reveals a multitude of similar pins just like it.
It allows me to visualize ideas that I have in my head.
I have categories for Christmas baking, Christmas dinner ideas, Christmas party ideas, Christmas outfit ideas for those days where I'm going to events.
Pinterest offers some more environmentally conscious and budget-friendly opportunities to decorate your home for the holidays without actually breaking the bank.
Pinterest really inspires me to not only find great gift ideas and try new brands, but I also feel that I'm just becoming a better host. I just go on there and I see something and I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I've been looking for.
Gift planning or gift wrapping, there is something for everyone.
And without Pinterest, I also wouldn't have been able to do things like hold my annual friend miss at my new place. And I think in a way, it kind of helps me get a bigger view of what's possible for home decor, Secret Santa gifts, and even holiday snacks and meals.
I was inspired to get a black Christmas tree, and who would have thought it would look so kind of neutral, but yet funky and unique. And it's a way that I can also use it for Halloween, so it's dual purpose.
I can create a specific board for each of my best friends and just start adding things to it, whether it's card ideas, gift ideas, just little things that I can do that'll make the holidays just a little bit more special.
This coming year, I also plan to use Pinterest to inspire holiday travel. Christmas and the holidays, and really all year long, wouldn't be the same without Pinterest.
As you just heard, this festive season, people everywhere, and especially people on Pinterest, are excited to celebrate more moments of all sizes, more of the big moments and a lot more of the small moments. And they've already started planning for many of those moments and celebrations on Pinterest, which means there are more opportunities for you to reach them and boost your festive season sales. Our research says that shoppers on Pinterest are feeling optimistic about this festive season. They're excited to get back out into the world, and they look forward to the return of the larger and more traditional celebrations. In the UK, 6 in 10 pinners say they enjoy familiar festive traditions, and they're 35% more likely to say that compared to non-pinners. But pinners also really like the newer traditions and smaller mini moments that they've created over the past 2 years, and they plan to keep them and add even more. In Germany, 70% of pinners use Pinterest to plan the small as well as the big moments in their lives. Our holiday research also validated what we were already seeing in our own data, that new traditions have taken hold over the past 2 years as the pandemic gave people permission to design and celebrate the holidays their own way. People on Pinterest really embrace this. For example, UK pinners are more than twice as likely to say they enjoy creating new festive traditions than non-pinners. This has caused an explosion of smaller, unique seasonal moments on Pinterest. And while the big holiday moments like Hanukkah, Christmas, and New Year's make the season memorable, It's the many small moments that make the season truly special. People on Pinterest love to create and enjoy special events and celebrations, especially during the festive season. Here's just a sample of the smaller, unique moments that people are planning for on Pinterest. They range from special seasonal traditions like biscuit making and tree decorating to the Advent calendar or a festive family film night. There are meaningful cultural moments like Diwali and important personal moments like a holiday engagement or just a little me time for self-care season. I know many of you have defined unique moments for your own customers, and most likely we can find insights around your brand-driven festive season moments too. Aligning to these small moments is powerful. Not only do they allow you to create an always-on presence during this busy planning and buying season, it helps you connect with customers in a very relevant way. It's also a great opportunity to expand on traditional audiences and lean into adjacent categories. As the festive season becomes even more personalized, Pinterest is there to help with new ideas. 3 in 5 people who use Pinterest in Germany say it shows them products and ideas that are personalized for them. That's 66% higher than what users of other social platforms say about those platforms. Pinterest is the #1 destination when it comes to holiday inspiration. And inspiration is indeed the new influence. 3 in 5 UK shoppers on Pinterest say it offers them inspiration for things to do and buy for the festive season. That's 37% higher than what non-Pinners say about other platforms. In addition to having more big and small moments this festive season, after 2 years of pandemic restrictions and concerns, people are looking forward to getting back out into the world to celebrate. They have big expectations, and across countries, Pinners are planning for more in-person events. For example, in the UK, they're planning to watch festive films and TV with family and friends, make shopping trips to the mall and to stores, decorate their homes for the season, host friends and family at home. Of course, brands play an important role in helping people celebrate all of their festive season moments. And just like every other day of the year, brands are a welcome source of festive inspiration on Pinterest. That's why people rely on Pinterest to find what's new or new to them. In Germany, 6 in 10 Pinners say it helps them discover new brands and products for the festive season. That's 48% higher than what they say about other social platforms. Pinners want brands to help them make the season fun and even more special, especially this year as they welcome back the big moments and add more small moments. 2 in 5 Pinners say they want inspiration from brands on Pinterest on how to make this year's festive celebrations even better than the last. So now you've heard how people on Pinterest are feeling and what they're planning for the festive season. I'll pass it to Griselda to share how shoppers on Pinterest are different.
Thank you, Tina. And hello, everyone. I'm Griselda Welsing, Senior Partner Manager here at Pinterest, and I will talk about the super shoppers. Now let's go a little more in depth on shoppers on Pinterest. First thing I'll mention is how they are different from shoppers on other platforms. They are always shopping. And what's really notable is that they spend more. Twice as much, in fact, compared to our peer platforms. They really are super shoppers. And they buy more each time they shop. In certain verticals, shoppers on Pinterest have 85% larger baskets at checkout, which I think is a pretty incredible stat. And what we've learned from them is that Pinterest brings the best of offline shopping online. 8 in 10 shoppers have told us this, which is nearly twice as high as the number of people who use other social platforms and say this about them. And what's interesting is that a lot of early industry forecasts are predicting a return to brick and mortar shopping this upcoming festive season. Well, 87% of shoppers who use Pinterest say it's a valuable complement to in-store shopping. That's 85% higher than what people say on other platforms. Another area where Pinterest beats out the competition is in personalization. Personalization matters more than anything when it comes to shopping, right? Shoppers on Pinterest say the #1 factor in a successful shopping trip is finding the perfect product for them. And Pinterest is personalized. In fact, 9 in 10 Pinterest shoppers say Pinterest shows them truly personalized branded content. That's 78% higher than what shoppers say about other platforms. And when we look at our shopping data through the Christmas lens, what we noticed about people on Pinterest is not only do they love to shop, but they also love to gift. I'm ready to be gifted. It turns out 90% of people on Pinterest use it for gift giving ideas. 90%. And the big learning here in our research was that people on Pinterest start early. The majority of pinners start their Christmas shopping, including for gifting purposes, before Thanksgiving. That means even before December starts. And when we look at the data, we found that Pinterest shoppers are pretty unique because they are relational gifters. They came to us to find gifts based on who they're shopping for. But notably, they're open-minded about brands or products. So for brands, this is the perfect opportunity to reach active gift shoppers while they're yet undecided. With all of this in mind, we've been working hard to create a wide range of surfaces that allow brands to reach pinners at different points of their shopping journey. Many of you are probably familiar with the Shop tab from Search, helping pinners to go right into shop mode as they search for ideas. Another example is product tagging on standard pins, making any pin instantly shoppable content to move pinners from inspiration to action. And then there's Try On, which is available in the US and the UK, and it just does what it promises. It lets people virtually try on makeup looks, such as lipstick or eyeshadows, and this from the comfort of the couch. And we're continuing to introduce new products with feedback from pinners. A recent example is a product that we've just launched, Shopping List, which is shown here on the right. People are already saving ideas and products they love on Pinterest. And we know that they're over 7 times more likely to purchase products they've saved. So with shopping lists, pinners have their product pins automatically saved in one place, making it easier for them to come back and shop the items that they've been eyeing when they're ready to buy, just like they would in their favorite local shops. And for brands, it means you have the ability to stay top of mind with shoppers who were inspired by your product. And we will, of course, continue to innovate and expand the suite of shopping solutions available for brands and advertisers on the platform. We have tagged here some of them, some of the newer offerings, including the integration app from WooCommerce merchants and product groups automation. All of our solutions shown here are designed to work together to allow you to create the most value out of the shopping presence on Pinterest. And we recommend using them in tandem to ensure they scale their results as efficiently as possible for you. And with that, I'll hand it off to Gronya.
Thanks, Griselda. Hi, everyone. It's now time for the fun part. Let's dive into how to plan your media as you prepare for this festive season. Something you should always remember is that pinners are planners. In fact, pinners start planning, shopping, and buying early for the festive season. And as you can see in this graph, seasonality for holiday gifting searches on Pinterest start picking up between this month, July, and September. Therefore, you should be taking advantage of this and reach prospective customers early, securing a spot in their consideration set. In fact, it's not too early to start today. Advertisers that plan and activate early see better results year after year. And it's not enough to reach them once or twice. You need to reach them often. As the holidays get closer and closer, people on Pinterest buy across more product categories and convert more quickly. Last year, we saw a 60% increase in the number of people converting across 4 or more product categories on Pinterest in November compared to October. And we also saw 22% faster conversions on Pinterest in the last week of November compared to the last week of October. And for this festive season, we recommend that you run your full funnel campaigns as always on, meaning you do not start and stop your campaigns. During the busiest time of the year in our auction, which is the holidays, we saw that when advertisers ran their campaigns as always on, they drove 5 times higher conversion rates and 3 times higher revenue per user when compared to episodic advertisers. Now, these next 2 slides are a bit of an eyesore and are only intended to be a leave behind a resource. So you will receive a copy of these in your post-event email. Otherwise, your Pinterest account teams can share this with you. This slide here provides you with our recommended direction for budget allocation across both objective and time period for the festive season. And you can see the dark burgundy line represents conversion data on our platform. We're recommending increasing your investment when our conversion volumes are at their highest. And to further help you make the right moves at the right time, we've added additional budget and creative advice, segmenting the strategy into 4 phases. Phase 1, lay the foundation for a multi-objective full funnel approach. Ensure that your Pinterest tag is in place and passing back the necessary conversion data. Phase 2, iterate across objectives, with more emphasis on driving engagement to conversions as pinners are ramping up to spend. Phase 3, upweight conversions in September and keep the conversion strategy on throughout December. And phase 4, don't lose out in the new year when we expect lower CPMs for your New Year, New You campaign. And finally, this table outlines how you should use our full suite of ad products up and down the funnel and across the 4 phases. You can reference this table as you start planning and activating your Pinterest campaigns this festive season, and follow the specific best practices to beat your KPIs from awareness to consideration to conversion. And with that, I'll pass it back to Tina to close us out. Thank you.
Thanks, Grania. So by now you've heard loud and clear that the festive season will be different this year. It'll be more expansive, more personalized, and more dynamic than ever, which means the need for inspiration from brands like yours has never been greater. We'll leave you with these 4 takeaways. People come to Pinterest open-minded and they leave decided. Pinterest is 10 times more efficient at driving consideration. 2022 will have more festive celebrations, big and small, which means there are more opportunities for you to reach shoppers on Pinterest and boost your seasonal sales. Pinners start planning their holidays early on Pinterest, and they're buying gifts for everyone in their life. We've seen planning activity ramp up between July and September the last couple of years, so start your campaigns early to influence purchase decisions. Grow share of voice and wallet by targeting the entire purchase funnel. We've seen always-on full funnel campaigns drive higher conversion rates and sales lift during the festive season. Finally, we're excited to announce that we'll be bringing a more hands-on creative best practices session to you in September. We'll be sending out invites to register soon, so keep an eye on your inbox. Thank you for joining us today and taking the time to learn about festive season shopping on Pinterest. We'll follow up with the recording of this webinar, as well as some of the material that we've shared with you today. We'll also be sending out a survey to ask for your feedback. Let me be among the first to wish you a very happy and successful festive season. Bye, everyone.